Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so there's been a lot of talk about whether Poland is going to give Ukraine fighter jets. And a lot of people are confused about just what has been going on here. And so I've been watching these reports as they came out. And of course, the narrative has kind of changed over that. So, the United States is trying to say that Poland made this offer. Not really. I mean, Poland has been trying to find a way to avert this in some way. The very first reports that came out were that the Biden administration made the offer to Poland that if Poland would donate these old Soviet fighter jets, about 70 of them, to Ukraine, that the United States would then give them equivalent replacements. I've pointed out in a previous video that these jets are, Soviet era. The Soviets didn't really produce any jets the last 10 years of their existence. So these jets are at least 40 years old. They'd probably fly apart on the runway. But they're not going to stand up in combat against more modern weapons. Anyway, so the narrative changed, and Poland was very obviously being pressured by the Biden administration. So finally, Poland said, okay, we will give Ukraine these jets if we can fly them to Germany, and then they get from Germany, flown from Germany to Ukraine. But the Pentagon nixed that idea. They said the Biden administration with this was just trying to throw Poland under the bus. Seriously. Poland didn't want to do this because their statement was that, no, if we do this, then that makes us a target. So, okay, fine, we'll fly them to Germany. If this is what you want, we'll fly them to Germany, and you can fly them into Ukraine from there. And all of a sudden, the Pentagon then steps in and says, oh, no, we can't do that because that would be, NATO involvement. Well, Poland is part of NATO. It's one of the newer countries that got swallowed up in NATO as NATO expanded eastward. So they were completely willing to let Poland become a target, but Poland wasn't going to have any part of it. So they make an offer, and then the Pentagon steps in and says, nope, that ain't going to happen. And I'm pretty sure Germany wasn't too hot on that idea either. So, no, there are no fighter jets that are being donated to Ukraine. Some reports have said that the Ukrainian Air Force is still intact, and stuff like that. Yeah, as long as you want to watch clips from video games, you can count on the fact that with Russia hitting military targets, some of their very first targets were runways and hangars containing Ukrainian jets. You can't hide these things. You can hide ground forces. You can't hide a runway. So, that's not a thing. And if you tune in to live video coming out of Ukraine, you're not seeing any dogfights up in the sky. It's not happening. Anyway, so this is a good thing. The more and more that Ukrainian forces are depleted, the weapons coming into the country, the shipments get destroyed or seized by Russian forces, the more that their jets are taken out of service and they have no replacements, the more that NATO says, no, we are not going to impose a no-fly zone. These are good things. It makes Ukraine come to the bargaining table for actual efforts toward peace. And Russia is still saying, they haven't removed the government, which they could have done by now. So, you got, they're still saying they are not going to permanently occupy Ukraine in the long term. They want this to be over. We all want this to be over. Except Ukraine, still absolutely refusing to give any concessions at all. None. They refuse anything. They won't even talk about it. So, if you want more weapons going into Ukraine, you want more jets going into Ukraine, what you want is for more people to die. This needs to end. And Ukraine needs to accept the fact that this is not going to go any way that they want it to. The U.S. threw Ukraine under the bus. And the U.S. knew that they were throwing Ukraine under the bus. So, share this video, talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel and the website. And be sure and sign up at issuesunite.com. Social media without any government or corporate involvement. All right? Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.